Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about a topic which I guess is a very common theme, very common experience that we go through. And because it is such common thing, such complex, so we will take at least 2 sessions. So today we will start, we'll get into some details. Next week we will talk more, especially about youth and hatred in relationships. So we will continue, and then we will see if we need a third session on this, depending on how it goes. We can expand whatever helps everyone in understanding and using this information to help yourself. So it's a very common, you can say, a feeling, emotion, or you know, situation that we all go through time to time. Not necessarily everybody may have the same situation all around, but sometime it could be generating within your house, your neighborhood, your workplace, relationship. But we need to understand that whenever we feel, well, I cannot get rid of this hatred in my heart or the full-on negativity that we end up having it, which is what we call hatred. So let's understand what is hate, why it exists, how to remove and how to stay free. Is it a one-time deal that, okay, I get rid of it and then I'm done? Or is it something which is, time to time, like cleansing? You need to keep doing it. So that is something that we need to understand before we can uh, make use of it. Why it is complex, we will see as we go through some of the details. So hate, when we say, it's a secondary layered emotion, or it's a very complex emotion, you can say. Why? Because it is building up from several primary emotions. So in a way, we can say that it is a mixed pot. It's a mixed bag, or you can say it's a complete, what we call a khichdi, when you have a lot of other emotions and a mixture is giving you that. The bottom line here is to understand that hate is not a standalone thing. That means it requires multiple ingredients. And that's the key thing. So others, simple emotion like anger, okay, straightforward, or fear, uh, you may take them as a single point uh, kind of emotion. That means there was some event, and then, you watch a scary movie, you have fear. Someone says something to you, you get anger. So the action reaction are one point kind of things. But when it comes to hate, it builds up on two or more of these. So that means it's kind of prerequisite. You have a lot of components, and then it gives rise to this hate. And that's where we generate the hatred. If we go and refer to this American Psychological Association, the way they describe, uh, one thing which is clear in their description is it's a long-lasting negative feeling, right? Uh, Distinct from a short-term anger. So, couple of things here: long-lasting, distinct from anger, and negative feeling. So, anger is certainly not good; it's negative. Any negative energy cannot give you any positive result. That means we should take care of it. Emotion itself, the word itself, we say it is energy in motion, right? So energy in motion, if it is not flowing, if it is not in motion, means it's stuck. And anytime the energy gets stuck for a long time, it's a recipe for trouble. It's a root cause for diseases, discomfort, illness. So energy should continue moving. Now, there is uh, a key thing, which is that, okay, If it is anger, fear, disgust, shame, hurt, that means do I need all? No, as we said, combination of two or more can give this. But what are the other, you can say the details or ingredients, why it happens from a different perspective, we can see. So first, let's connect it to thought, right? Why? Because as we know, thoughts, they are the root cause. They are the foundation for good or bad. Refer to our previous discussion on Ayurveda, the 6 stages of illnesses. Number one means where it all starts. That's our thoughts. So what happens here is, uh, as we said, it's a mix, but the mix of particular emotion that you are getting, they are coming from your belief system. They're coming from your judgmental nature, right? Our narrative, again, you are judgmental, there is a belief system. So there will be a story in our mind about us and also about others. And the belief system gives certain moral ideas or, some, again, judgmental thing that we immediately relate. The moment somebody talks about certain group, certain individual, certain company, organization, we attach some of our belief system or what we have over the period of time, some narrative about them. So it's not just emotional, it's not just cognitive, not purely instinctive. So it is not one, and that's why it's a mixed thing. Now, so this is where little bit complexity in this topic comes. And certainly it's lasting longer than simple feeling. That means it's really important to understand and take care of this. So if we go for the psychology of hate, as we said, it is not primary, but it is secondary. So you have the emotional component, anger, fear, other things that we talked about. Uh, then we have cognitive component, the fixed negative belief systems, right? Like we talked about, uh, generalizing people, right? And how we develop that, that happens over time, depending on our environment. Now, behavioral component, it could be like in a workplace. There are group that you may want to talk to. There are people you may not want to talk to. You avoid those people. There could be verbal hostility because verbal hostility means obviously you're not fighting physically. So it's a verbal thing. You just don't like that person, a group of people, and verbal exchanges could be hostile. Sometimes, it's a very common thing that people say, oh, this department versus that department in our workplace. In relationship, you may have heard about certain individual. They will say, oh, yeah, 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 you know, our so-and-so relative and such person, this relative versus that. Within the family, you may have a situation. So those kind of things, which is coming, where is it coming from? Personal experience, perceived threats, and all those kind of things. That means it may not be real, it's perceived, right? And it happens because of certain events, certain actions in the past, and certain conflict, ego. Sometime it could be, your identity conflict, or all those kind of individual human characteristics or our feelings, emotions, what gives rise to our personality results in this. Two personality clashes, right? You will have always such people around you that, whenever they both are in front of each other, there is a clash. Why? They may both be looking for the superiority, in the group or whatever, and then they have a conflict. One is trying to outsmart the other. S- Personally, they may not be against each other, but their personality are against each other. So this is where one key distinctive feature one has to really understand. Is it the person or is it the behavior? And this is where we look into from the psychological side of the story, because where this hate is coming from. You may not dislike a particular culture, particular region, or whatever, but it is just that, is your, again, the feeling, the emotions, and all those things, the narrative that you have about that particular region or people gives you that feeling. So first thing, sometimes people get mixed up into hate and anger. That, okay, are we talking about anger? So, well, anger is usually temporary, right? Anger could be a starting point. It could be because of a certain event, certain, actions or certain things a person said or did, and you may get angry. Short term, very specific. Hatred, on the other hand, is a long term, right? Or you can say it's building up like a snowball effect. So not one anger is giving you hatred, but multiple angers or multiple, like we said, different emotions. These negative emotions combine and give a much more negative uh, uh, emotion as hatred. Now, hatred, because it's much more complex, is much more harmful. So what happens? It gets you into the mode where you really want to punish someone. You want to, you know, not include that person in your any kind of activities, celebrations, uh, to something to an extent of, you have a feeling to just destroy the, not physically maybe, but emotionally. So there are people you may say, I just cannot stand this person. Why? You have that deep hatred, means over the period of time. If it is anger, today you may be, angry with this person and say, I don't want him in my celebration. Next month you may include. But the hatred will keep that person away. That means that negative, strong, that, the next level feeling that you want to really go after this person continues. Now, when you have such negative feeling about anyone, think about it. Is it really impacting the other person, or it is just impacting you 24/7? Well, it is only impacting you 24/7. Why? That poison, that anger, that hatred is inside you, that negativity is inside you. It is impacting your system, whether it's digestive system, immune system, your DNA, your genes are getting impacted by it. Why? As we discussed in this quantum physics session, that how your thoughts goes all the way to your genes, your DNA level. So if it is so negative, how is this getting formed, right? It's like cooking. It's not just you add one spice and it's done. It is something which is, a lot of ingredients and it's cooking for a while. So it can come from your personal experience. It can come from, just comparison, the sometimes supremacy kind of feeling, the cultural, the family. Oh, my family is this compared to other family, or my, it could be the organization, it could be any kind of identity that you have built. And when this kind of narrative, this kind of thing comes again and again, it's like a snowball. It's making it bigger and bigger, means more negative. Your insecurity, your unresolved issues, different negative emotions, the single, the small one, the fear, and all those things, those are unresolved. They like come in a bundle package and take form of hatred. So Is it really protecting us or is it hurting us? Is it all negative or there is a positive side of hatred? For that, we'll have to go a little deeper into, why it came into existence and all those things, because the way the human, the life is, we have ego. We can say ego is negative, it takes you in a, negative zone and all those things. But ego on one side, from one perspective, is trying to protect you from getting hurt. So that is a protection mechanism given by nature to us. Are we misusing that protection mechanism? That could be a topic to understand. So why this seems to be so powerful, so much needed, that we don't want to let go hatred? Why hate is like stuck to us like a magnet? Because it gives you a sense of control, sense of belonging to a group, supremacy, right? That, okay, my group is better than that group, or my company or my family is higher or better, and all those kind of feeling. It gives you a target, it's kind of a negative competition, right? But ultimately, it is narrowing it down. Means your thinking, your limits are very much narrowed down. So, in order to feed that sense of control, that ego, that protect, just to protect all that yes, all those things regarding your family person or whatever you may have, may lead towards poor choices. Means you are going against the other person. You are ready to harm the other person. You can go to any extent to embarrass, to really hurt the other group or the person. Why? Because you hate the person or the group so much. So, starting from a simple negative feelings or emotion, it gives rise to an such a big monster, we may call it, that you are ready to hurt someone. On one side, it's giving you a protection mechanism. Why? Why the humans have this protection mechanism? Is it random? No. Because if you really see how the human life started, it was a question of survival. It was a, like, you know, we may have all heard Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. What does it mean? I need to survive. That means I need to protect me and my family, my group. How do I protect? By having this emotion that I am the supreme. I have to be, in existence compared to others. If others don't exist, that's okay. I must exist. So that is the survival instinct. It's protecting me and my group. It's conserving the resources. Why? Because early, if you really see the human, evolution, they lived in the small tribes. They were all kind of hostile threats like wild animals, medical issues. If you get sick, there is no doctor, there is no mechanism, and the lifespan was very short. So survival was the name of the game. Food is scarce. It's not like, today you have a refrigerator always full of food. So you had to conserve. Threat comes all of a sudden, no information, no pre-warning. Like today, you have weather forecast, you have all kind of information available to you. So you have to make a rapid decision, quick. Threat comes, you have to make. Why? Survival was the name of the game. Your group, your identity, you have to protect in order to survive as a community, survive as a family. So those situations demanded this kind of mechanism. But modern society is way different, more complex, in fact. So these, you can say the mechanisms are going strongly against us. Why? Even if we justify that hatred was useful at one time, hundreds of thousands of years ago, it was needed for a short period of time. There is a threat, either you fight or you run away from it, you survive. You don't need to be in hatred mode. If it's a wild animal, say a tiger attacking a tribe, they will fight. They survive, they will relax. What happens now, after all those advancement and all, we stay in that danger or a stress mode. And hence, this feeling of hatred, we think we need 24/7. And now this has become a real threat to us or real negative issue for us. So, is it just my feeling comes and goes, or is it deeply connected to the human form, our brain? So, different parts of the brain making different decisions, whether it is threat detection, whether it is the digestion, right? Stress impact two major areas, two major functioning we talked about before. One is digestion system, one is immune system. Stress reduces our capacity or capability of these two things. Means your digestion lowers down, means you cannot digest food properly, and your immune system goes down, means the body cannot protect against external threats, and we fall sick very frequently. Your capability of reasoning and all those things gets impacted. So, we have the what we call the reward circuit. So what happens? When you have this negative feeling and you get a reward that, yes, this negative feeling, which is hate, which is basically that I'm supreme or I'm better than the other, it is kind of reinforcing more and more hostile feelings. Why? It rewards me that, yes, you are right, you are doing the great thing, you are super, all those mechanism in order to protect is happening inside our brain. But now, because it is happening 24/7, it has really impacted us big way. It's no more a short-term thing. But this reward circuit, like for example, social media. Why people get addicted? Oh, so many people liked my post or so many comments, and then we start comparing that, haha, my friend got only 10 and I got 100. I feel it's kind of reinforcement that I'm supreme. Now, next time again, I want 100 or more. If by any chance my other friend gets more than me, now my happiness, my peace destroyed completely. Why? How come I got less than the other? So the hate rate goes up. A small thing becomes big. Repetition of this small thing over a period of time becomes permanent, and hence it's no more anger or a simple feeling emotion. Now it's a full-on hatred. So now the question comes, what can I do about it? A little bit understanding, what it is, then understanding how it works, what it does to me. The question is, can we reduce or dissolve it? It's not permanent. It is complex, made up of multiple emotions and thoughts. But if I work on this, can I not make it either less damaging, or can I not eliminate totally? Like we say, a super glue. If you use super glue, we expect whatever you're trying to glue together will stay, together, because it's a super glue. It's very strong. But for whatever reason, if you can dilute, if you can reduce the impact of that super glue, that it is glue only now, no more super, just glue, then you can say it will join the thing together, but it is little less stronger than before, means it can come apart. So if it was full on hatred before you dilute it. Now it's not hatred. You reduce it to a level where you can separate, means eliminate the hatred from you. You work little more and that glue is no more a glue. Now it's like water, cannot stick two things together. So that hatred is gone. So that's what you do, first reduce and then eliminate. Now, there are multiple levels we may have to work on. Work on ourselves and work on others. Can I resolve it if I work on myself? Or can I resolve it if I'm working on others? Do I need both? Then there are certain more elements. How do I, or what should I do when, where, all those questions comes if we are talking about relationship. So this is a big umbrella, and then we can narrow down to a specific group. Okay, if it is just related to relationship, then what do I do? How do I eliminate that hatred? If it is just youth, what do I do? Because why those are too important? Because to me, really, if youth nowadays are really going through a big challenge because of social media and whatnot, and they get into this much easily than what we faced 20, 30 years ago. The life, the technology, this whole environment has changed drastically. So they are really in a situation where they need help. Relationship is another thing in our life that is really impacting. So within this, yourself and others, specific group, what do and how do we help ourselves in terms of dealing with our relations. Different relationship means different relatives where this issue is. So obviously, you start from yourself. We cannot impact others. We can impact certainly us ourselves. People try to change others first. And the whole world is trying to change others. But the point is, you can only change yourself. So what do we do? Work on yourself. So let's see. If you are working on yourself first, the key thing is you must know what are you feeling, not on the surface, but deep below the surface, where it all started. Those are the two key things person should know. Why? As we said, hatred is a complex, means multiple emotions are there. So you need to know. On the surface, I see something, but what's actually the underneath, those factors are the key in order to permanently remove it. Because it's hiding in another emotion. So you have to little bit dig and find out where it started, what actually happened, and then you will know, okay, this is the starting point. Why? Your ego is protecting you. So if you today decide to think about it or work on it, do you think we will just sit and things will come? Maybe not. Why? Your ego is protecting you. So it will say everything is okay, don't worry, you are good. That is why we need meditation. In meditation, when we calm down, when we are, having peace within, it's like the lake, the water, which is stable. You go inside, and now you can see what's happening inside. And then you come to know, oh, this is where it started. Oh, this is how it happened. Oh, this is what I did. This is what he or she did. Otherwise, your anger, your hatred will camouflage everything and just put all the blame on someone else. So you identify why you feel powerless, why you feel disrespected, why you feel betrayed, why you feel, all the hurt and all those things. You have to understand, is it a story I have developed? And if it is, why? How it started? Only by finding the root cause, really, you can help big time. Why? The moment you find the root cause, you can say a big chunk of the action needed is already completed. It will weaken, it will start diluting your hatred. You have not improved, you have just identified. That itself is half the battle. Because the moment you know that, okay, this is how, or this is the root cause. Now, the story you have in your mind, which is full of negativity against someone, now you have put the logic there. So that negativity will dilute, and the body and the mind starts understanding. So your ego will let go. Ego will take a step back and say, oh, okay, he figured it out. Oh my God, I was trying to hide it. So that is really important. Now, once you know the root cause and now, what you may do, you may, when someone triggers, a person's name is taken in front of you, and sometimes the people, there goes the rocket, right? They will be agitated, they will be totally disturbed just by hearing the name of a person. Means they hate that person so much. So if you are triggering those intense emotions, temporarily you can reduce contact. You have, uh, you know, distance yourself, try to improve the, your perspective, and you need to calm down, because then only you can reflect on the root cause. When you're in, deep anger, uh, it's difficult to think or accept the logic part. Even if the clarity comes that, oh, this is actually what happened, the ego will not let you accept it. No, 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 I didn't do anything. Everything is, because of this or that person, or his fault, her fault. So first thing is calming down, and hence meditation helps a lot. People say, oh, in meditation this helps. Why? Because it calms you down. It allows you to accept the truth. We are not saying accept the blame. We are saying accept the fact, the truth, that actually this is what happened. And yes, that person did this, I did this, or whatever the other story could be. If you don't know the facts, end result can never be a permanent resolution. Then generalization. Absolute is one thing, which is, without being, you can say, dependent on anything else. So it relies on absolute. So hatred is, something because you are thinking, no, 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 they're all like this. They always do this. They never change. What is this? What are these statements? This is your story, your belief system that you have about someone, a group, an organization, whatever that may be. So this is generalization. You need to challenge. Change that absolute with more precise thoughts. Rather than generalizing, they are all like this, right? You say, okay, some people may do this. It could be two political parties, it could be two regions, it could be two departments, right? We all know within the family also sometimes there become different groups. And now one group doesn't want to talk to the other because of whatever reason. However, it has started, now it becomes generalized. And then most of the people don't even know how it started over a period of time. The generalization continues. Generalization means now the story continues. So more and more people are joining that story. And if you ask someone what actually happened, I don't know, but I know this is it. Why? Because you have accepted that story, belief system. So the moment you say, not everyone, but yeah, maybe some people do this. Not every time, maybe that day, that particular moment, they did like this. Rather than, this is what it is. No, there may be some more detail. There may be some more to the story. Let me dig, let me find out. The moment we are open to accept that there may be something more, maybe not always is like this. Maybe, that was his or her bad day, and, the way the person reacted. The moment we give that benefit of doubt or leave the room that, okay, let me explore, this weakens the hatred. Like a super glue now becoming only a glue. You have weakened that grip, and that's a big victory. And now you're ready to go to the next step. In some cases, don't focus on group, just go on individual level. Why? Because again, generalizing, all of a sudden people say, oh, that department, those people, bum, 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 and or that particular, organization, party, or whatever that is. Now we are generalizing everyone. Why? You may be correct about a person or two or certain group of people, but that does not mean everybody in that organization is like this. But because we interacted with one or two, we think if this person is like this, everyone is like that. Step back. Again, it will weaken that negativity, that hatred. Now, when you recognize that it is complex, and that's why we are repeating that hate is a really combination, multiple emotions involved, and so it is a complex scenario. The moment even we understand and accept that it is complex, we are telling our brain that let me think, let me go in detail why there is more to it. Otherwise, we just say that person is bad, this, I'm the good one, I'm the victim. That's it. Nothing that I need to do. All the efforts, all the changes required is in the other person or the other party. Sometimes, people behave the way they behave. But if we ask what may have triggered, is that person under some timeline pressure if it is workplace or something bad happening around health wise or otherwise, that's why the person reacted this way. Yeah, this is not usual for this person to say or do such thing. Why? If we ask this question again, we are opening that window of that yes, there may be something more. Yes, may have happened this time, but not a usual thing again and again or over and over or every situation. You don't have to forgive them, but at least you're trying to understand. Humanity is our everything, that's our bottom line. So when we have, just a full on negativity, that is one side, but the moment we have compassion, we have empathy, now we are opening that human element. The moment you open the human element, hatred cannot survive because the natural instinct come that we are human, the feeling of oneness, feeling of true love, but we need to have that wisdom or acceptance. Hatred comes easy, buy one, get one free offer. Oneness, true love, you have to really work on it. Switch is easy, you have to just create a little bit window. You have to really look into your pain, your story. If needed, yeah, talk to a therapist. Therapist doesn't mean, a doctor or psychologist or whatever it is, talk to your fellow meditator. Talk to, the person, your friend that you trust. Full moon, new moon, we say, hey, release the question to the universe. Universe is a very big therapist. So don't think therapist means just professional people. You go to the nature, talk to trees. Now you may wonder, what are you talking? Talk to trees. Trust me, when we go out in the nature, we are in connection with the universe. That doesn't mean, that you are just talking verbally, but connecting from your inner core. Because your hatred is somewhere, whether it's some betrayal, trauma, whatever has happened, some abuse, rejection, whatever has happened, and that has created this the whole story. The moment you start at least thinking or healing yourself, now the other side is weakening. This helps. The more you do, the repetitiveness helps you more. So that means today I meditate, full moon, new moon, or a regular day, I feel little better. If I do regularly, I feel much better. If I can increase the time or be consistent, regularly do it, now I'll feel much, much, much better. So what is happening? You're dissolving your hatred. So you are replacing your hatred with positivity, with all the kind of, you know, what we say, the elevated positive emotions. So what you can do also is replace hatred and have some boundaries. As we said, hatred is kind of a protection mechanism, but it has negativity, hostility. But boundaries can protect you with clarity. So instead of saying, I hate them, the whole group, if you reverse that negative thing, like in affirmation, we say choose positive statements. You say, I choose not to let them harm me. So you have removed that I hate them and this, and you are saying, I choose not to let them harm me. Now, yes, with respect to affirmation, this is still negative because I'm still saying not to let harm me. So I don't want you to get confused there. Still negative. However, what we are doing is specifically here is setting boundaries. So rather than having full on super glue, now I have a weak glue. So boundaries can dissolve the need for hatred because see, you cannot go 100 to 0. First, reduce the strength of the glue. So rather than having full on hatred or full on negativity, now you say, okay, I choose means I am taking the control. I am on the driver's seat and I will not let them harm me. That means I'm saying, okay, I'm ready to listen. Okay, I'm ready to work on it. I'm ready to explore that there could be more to it. So if we just summarize here in terms of how you can help yourself, okay, others we will see later. So you have, understanding, go to the root cause, dig deeper, don't stay on the surface. You can create some distance. Why? Because distance gives you a chance to look deeper. Challenge that thinking that you have. Bring some human, uh, you know, emotions and elevated emotions of compassion and all those things to again give you a chance to work on it. Otherwise, this protection mechanism won't let you work on it. Set some boundaries. Again, you are weakening that glue. So, masters, we will stop today's session here. We will take how you can reduce or dissolve hatred with respect to others. This was yourself. Then we'll talk about relationship or youth next session. So for now, we will take your questions or experience. So if you want to share something, you want to ask about what we covered today, please feel free to unmute yourself. Regarding this topic of hate or hatred and what it is, how to identify, and then how to start working on it to stay away from it.